Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Xinfin Network, aka XDC. So let's just dive in and let's start off with Trade Finance Global. So we do see MEXC, the snowball effect of digital trade. Now, when we go over to this article breakdown, we do see first off, the MEXC is a revolutionary solution that aims to transform the trade finance industry by providing an open framework for digitizing trade documentation. It enables a seamless exchange of digital originals through existing mediums. This is unlike other blockchain-based trade digitization solutions, which operate within a closed user group concept. This allows MEXC compliant solutions to work alongside other platforms and systems with or without integration, creating an interoperable framework that can streamline trade finance processes. Once a digital original is created, it can be shared easily with other parties involved in the transaction. And then here we have a simple trade transaction would look like within this entire solution. This is the example. So the entire process from start to finish is fully digitized. Okay, and the thing is that as we look at MEXC, this is the last step in the entire process to have full-on trade finance digitization, not only just snowball effect around the whole world, but spread extremely fast. I'm very excited for this because we do know that Xinfin is a part of this major digitization move, as well as other major blockchain initiatives and also projects, which I told you guys that it's not just going to be a one-size-fits-all. Collaboration is key. And also, collaboration is not a bad thing. Listen, this is a market that is extremely vast and a very large opportunity in terms of the value tied to it. So I do believe that XDC, for all those XDC holders out there, the future is very bright. Now, with all this in mind, they do give us a little bit of a breakdown on the use cases behind this. They do mention a few major countries as well, which it's very large. They are pretty much creating the right legal frameworks for all of this to be achieved. Like I said, it's going to be harmonization. Harmonization is going to be the big approach for this. We also are witnessing major developments in the G7 countries. In fact, the UK is on the cusp of passing the Electronic Trade Documentation Bill or Documents Bill, which will serve as an important stepping stone to the widespread adoption of MEXC. And in fact, we actually do have a tweet from Crypto Nerd D talking about that. So we do see the MEXC, the passing of the UK trade bill expected in June of this year, would create momentum that would hopefully encourage a host of countries to adopt their own versions. Given the volume of cross-border trade already conducted based on English law, this will likely accelerate the digitization of trade instruments, which, yes, I do have these two screenshots here, which we will go over them in a second. But I do want to go back to this. I believe that as we look at the UK, they are a big one to focus on. So again, the screenshots are from this article. We'll get there in a second, but I want to also talk about, notably, English common law is the most widespread legal system in the world, with 30% of the world's jurisdictions using it and an even greater percentage having reciprocal agreements. So think about that. 30% of the world's jurisdictions will instantly be exposed to MEXC through the UK passing this Electronic Trade Documents Bill. This is huge. Now, those two screenshots. We are witnessing major developments in the G7 countries. I just talked about this. And then the second one is, notably, we just read that, but down here, the passing of the UK trade bill expected in June 2023 would create momentum that would hopefully encourage a host of countries to adopt. Once we see this pass, I believe that this will change everything. I believe that that is when Xinfin will roll out with trade finance digitization. I might be wrong, but I believe that this is going to be the start of a much larger initiative. And ultimately, remember that as we look down here, as legal adoption progresses, right, it is pertinent that technology solutions evolve for mass adoption, for trade digitization to have a meaningful impact on narrowing the working capital trade gap of about $1.8 trillion. Think about that. $1.8 trillion. That's huge. Tech solutions must address the problem of identity, which could be easily solved. We've talked about this quite a bit around blockchain technology. And authorization. Again, two great use cases for blockchain technology. We've talked about this quite a bit, even with Hedera. I think that these are great opportunities. And they even do talk a little bit about all of this down here, like a few things that need to be pretty much tied to this. They also do talk about digital identities and things like that, which are on their way from blockchain technology, like even Hedera. Hedera has been focused on this for a while. But it seems as though this is starting to really get serious around trade finance digitization, and we could not be any more excited as an XDC holder, because guess what? All of this, in my opinion, ties back to Xinfin, because they've been the only ones really majorly focused on trade finance. Now, also, I do want to lead you guys to Trade Finance Global's recent post as well, actually with Andre Kasserman being tagged with the ITFA worldwide, discussed the blueprint for digital negotiable instruments, and even shared 5 priorities. And here are those 5 major priorities. So as we do look over here, so align policy to technological developments. Again, this is harmonized approaches. Focus on interoperability to scale the use of new practice, add new value to digital flows, promote open platforms and ecosystems, expand supply chain finance. And last but not least, we do see DLT is a 21st century innovation that needs to be embraced with the 21st century open banking mindset. That's where most trade-focused consortia have failed so far, not only the bankrupt ones. And yeah, I mean, like, this is why I've been focused so much on Xinfin, because, you know, we are getting to that point where one, you know, DLT is spreading like a wildfire. I mean, almost every single major banking client, every single major financial institution, and even government entity wants to get in on this game because they see the value behind DLT. But also, we are seeing intricate asset classes and industries being fully digitized by this technology. And trade finance is not going to be left behind. In fact, the overall view of blockchain and trade finance has been the fact that it is extremely efficient. They should source the power behind DLT. And I think that's starting to be realized in. We've talked about it quite a bit in the past, but also remember, like, the BIS has been talking about digitizing trade finance for so long. Almost all of these major banks are ready. But there was 2 things to look at. So conceptually, there are 2 approaches to bridge the trade financing gap. One, overcome the pain points due to information asymmetry between creditors and borrowers. Most of this is within a lot of the problems around trade finance, for an example, like costs associated with it. Then you also see the other problems as well. Like, for example, in particular, by reducing the cost of identifying and verifying a company, a well-running system of corporate DID could streamline labor-intensive, paper-heavy, and often duplicated KYC and AML procedures that banks undertake to meet regulatory requirements. Corporate DIDs are more challenging than individual ones, as they often involve complicated ownership structures, making it difficult to identify their ultimate beneficial owners. In the context of trade finance, DIDs also need to be harmonized across borders, highlighting the need for common standards. That common standard is MLATR. MLATR is going to be the standard that is the harmonized approach to allowing for all of this to be realized in. And remember, like, this is all from 2020. Since 2020, a lot of things have changed. And I think that right now that we are on the cusp, we are on the edge of a huge change. And it's going to happen all at once. And I'm very excited for it. We do see two deal with ecosystem connectivity instead of pain points in a single ecosystem. And yes, again, when we look at this, we do see the aim is to increase interoperability amongst trade finance platforms so that network size and effects can be maximized. For instance, a trade finance API standard for cross-region data sharing could link various ecosystems. The failure of many platforms to attract a critical mass of users is often due to a lack of end-to-end digitization. So overall, what they are trying to do is create an interoperable, digitized approach to trade finance. I also believe this is why Quant has Xinfin access on the Overledger technology, because again, remember, Quant plugs and plays with traditional players as well. So allowing traditional players and allowing the traditional world to be able to connect to the digital world of trade finance will open the door for a lot more of a harmonized approach to trade finance digitization. So very excited for this. And also, R3. R3, since going all the way back to 2018, has seen this as a major opportunity. Trade finance for corporates is getting a major upgrade as the banks back initiative to deliver letters of credit over blockchain. Now, this has been a long time coming. Like, listen, I've talked to you guys a little bit about this. As we do look at R3, we mainly look at a few things. Contour, right? This was backed by 8 major banks with the potential to unleash $1 trillion in trade. The Contour project is being heralded as a major leap forward for the trade finance process. Now, we have talked about Contour in the past. I believe that it's a great use case, but I also believe that collaboration is key. It's not just going to be one project that solves these problems. It's going to be collaboration. The reason why I believe that Xinfin is ahead of the game on a lot of the things around trade finance is because of the connections it already has with ICC, ITFA, the DNI initiative. Like, there's so much to look at, so many connections. I strongly believe that what we have already seen around Xinfin as the first one to actually fully tokenize a trade finance document, I believe that they will become a major player. They will be the most significant out of all of them that are collaborating to revolutionize and digitize the trade finance industry. But we even seen them focus on blockchain as a game changer for trade finance going all the way back to February 2018. We do see R3's blockchain platform Corda was used to issue a letter of credit on behalf of U.S. food and agriculture firm Cargill, facilitating a bulk shipment of soybean meal from Argentina to Malaysia. So again, there's been a lot of things happening here, and we do see that this dramatic improvement in a turnaround time could unlock significant liquidity for businesses. Again, this is huge. It's enormous when you actually look at the potential behind blockchain technology. And again, we talk about it quite a bit, even with XRP, with unlocking the Nostra Vostra accounts worth $27 trillion. Like, so much liquidity could be unlocked. The turnaround time could be extremely fast. The cost associated with it is going to be extremely low. I mean, like, the benefits are too far to ignore, or too far great to ignore. And again, I'm very, very excited for the future of trade finance digitization because I do believe that Xinfin is playing a significant role. And talking about all of this, right? Like, remember all of the names tied to R3. Like, they have some of the largest investors out there from some of the largest names. Like, look at some of these names. These are huge giants. These are not small, members. Also, look at some of their members as well. These are advised by the world's leading banks and tech firms. Look at all these names. I mean, this is no joke. I mean, I'm sure that you are all aware of some of these names, like Wells Fargo, for example, and XRP holders. I'm sure that you guys know SBI Holdings. There's so many other ones as well, but I'm telling you guys, do not ignore R3. They are a significant player. But also, why is R3 even significant for XDC? It was very simple, right? You go over to Impel. Impel is a huge giant. We were chosen by Analytics Insight magazine as one of the top 10 most innovative blockchain companies to watch in 2023. And it's for good measure. I mean, like, listen, Impel, I know that you guys scolded me on how I pronounce it. It's all good, though. They are becoming a major key player. We do see that their ISO 20022 API to transform the institutional payments landscape. Like, this is what they are focused on mainly. Now, within this, we know that Impel is actually bridging to R3 as well. And we do see the R3 Corda XDC network bridge. And when you actually look into the breakdown of this, we know that one, this is for interoperability and also instant settlement. I believe that these two combined are creating that interoperable standard, but also allowing for instant settlement to be realized in around trade finance. We do see the R3 Corda is the first of its kind connection that enables the native XDC coin to move to and from the public Corda network. With this bridge, XDC can be used as a settlement vehicle inside the Corda ecosystem, allowing value to move freely between the Corda public network and public blockchain networks like the XDC network. That means data can be recorded privately on the Corda network while limited data sets are transferred to the XDC public network, mitigating institutional risk and turning Corda into a hybrid network. By extension, this shared ledger will connect the XDC coin with every other core dApp on the public Corda network. This is huge because the reason why is when you go over to Corda and you go to the network itself, go to Global Trade. Look at Global Trade itself. This is talking about their featured global trade projects. All of these projects down here around global trade, which again, here you guys have Contour. Contour is the big one. I've talked about Contour on this channel before many times. The thing about this is that this allows exposure for Contour to source XDC for instant settlement and provide liquidity. This is huge. I believe that this is all going to be one big network of trade finance, not only solutions, but also technology providers that is going to be utilized globally. That's why I've always said that it's not just about one project. This is huge. I think that this is going to be a big game changer, and you can see some of the use cases down here. So like a unique technology, this bridge enables XDC, the coin native to the XDC network, to move to and from. Really kind of just talks about it. But then also, it does say with this unique bridging technology, data can be recorded privately. Really kind of just talking more so about the same thing that I just kind of read up there. But down here, by extension, this bridge will allow digital assets like XDC or the US Plus stablecoin to be transferred to and from core dApps on the private coordinate platform. All of this is talking more so about providing liquidity, providing that instant settlement mechanism. Like, I think that this is going to be a key significant player in terms of an actual solution for trade finance as well, because all of this is needed. Everything that we've talked about, liquidity, settlement, all of that is crucial to trade finance. And I believe that this is all starting to blossom out and snowball, if you will, into realization. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this big world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.